External, India, Mountain Village Street, day. Nisha, 14, is running for her life. The people on the crowded street are stepping aside, looking at her. Some are whispering, some shake their heads, but no one helps. They've seen this before. She's not running from anything or anyone. External, India, Mountain Village Temple, day. Nisha has arrived at the gates of the village temple. She kicks off her shoes, scaring the doves away. She runs, screaming inside. Internal, India, village temple, day. Nisha is out of breath. An old woman, Ammi, catches her, stops her. She pulls Nisha into a dark corner and slaps her straight across the face. They speak Hindi.
Shut up! You, such noise in a temple. Are you crazy?
Forgive me, Ammi ji.
What happened now? Is it because of your wedding?
Forgive me, Ammi ji.
Nisha stares straight ahead past Ammi at the statue of Shiva in the temple.
Forgive me.
Then she bows, quickly touching Ammi's feet, then runs out of the temple like the wind, scooping up her shoes, sending the doves flying again. External, India, Mountain Village Street, day. Nisha runs again, but this time not with fear, but with determination. Under a tree, she has reached a group of men, sitting under a tree, playing cards, drinking. She slowly walks up to one of them, her father, Om. There is something brave about her. She reaches out, he gets up. Then she rips his necklace off him. He's enraged. The men around him gasp at the scandalous behaviour, but she has already run off. External, India, Mountain Village, bus stop, day. Nisha is running towards a crowded bus stop. Her father, Om, follows her, screaming, but she jumps on the back of a rickety old bus, her father's necklace in hand. Om screams,
Nisha, come back!
But Nisha floats off over the crowd and the cows. She climbs on the roof of the bus and laughs, her chunny flying in the wind. External, Indian countryside, day. Nisha is settled in on top of the bus with the other travellers. She keeps her head down, but after a while the beauty of her surrounding countryside catches her attention. She watches as scenes of Indian life pass her by. A holy man bathing in the river, camels, elephants, women carrying water. External, Ireland, Nisha's house, day. Superimposed, Ireland, 15 years later. A lonely house in the wild Irish countryside. It's autumn. Internal, Nisha's house, living room, night. Nisha, 29, is dancing wildly to Indian music. She is quite obviously drunk. She falls. Then she sits up and tries to apply henna to her hand. When she fails miserably, she half laughs, half cries, and gets back up to dance some more. Internal, Nisha's house, living room, day. Nisha awakes from her drunken stupor. Groaning, she gets ready for work. Internal, Irish village shop, day. Nisha is working behind the counter. A customer, John, comes in.
All right, John.
How are you there, Nisha? Got any lamb in today?
No, sorry, John. Merl will have to do with a cut of beef today. Is that all right?
She'll have to do.
Go over to Alan there. He'll fix it for you.
Still not managing the beef, are you?
You know yourself.
Completely Irish you are. If it weren't for the odd reminders that you're not.
Thanks for the casual racism there, John.
We love you.
Internal, Irish village shop, day. Nisha is finishing up. She has Indian music playing on her phone and has her scarf draped over her head. Internal, temple in an Irish house, day. Aman, 50s, is surrounded by Indian people seeking his advice.
I know, but if we can't rent a venue big enough, I'm afraid the Dussehra celebrations will have to be a lot smaller this year.
Yes, but we always rent the big hall for Dussehra. Why not this year? Where's Meghna? She was in touch with the landlord last year.
I'm in touch with the landlord. No need to bother Meghna. She's very busy with her new job.
The woman whispers something. A man takes it as a slight, but moves on anyway.
So everyone wants a Dussehra in the big hall in Bray.
The crowd agrees.
All right, I'll see what I can do, but do we have any plays set up?
I will mind the plays and the music, not to worry. But we need the big hall.
The crowd disperses. Aman is left standing. External, Irish seaside village day. Aman takes a breath as he comes out of the house the Indian community uses as a temple and meeting place. Then he turns towards the edge of the village and walks away. Internal, Nisha's house living room day. Nisha wakes on the floor again.
Oh, come on, Nisha, you're so pathetic.
She takes a sip of her bottle, then leaves the house. Internal, car, day. Nisha is driving down the hills towards the ocean. The glorious Irish landscape passes her by unnoticed. Internal, car park, day. Nisha has stopped by Aman's village. She looks at herself in the rear-view mirror. She tries desperately not to cry. External, clifftop, day. Nisha is walking along a gorgeous clifftop. After a while she stops, goes down on her knees. Facing east, she starts praying.
Why am I still being punished? Please, no more. I've had enough punishment.
Tears roll freely now. She has no strength left to stop them. This is how Aman finds her. He watches her for a moment, then silently turns away. She notices, watches him leave. She gets up, brushes herself off. For a brief moment, she considers following him. External, clifftop, car park, day. Nisha has dried her tears and sits down on the hood of her car, looking at the glorious landscape before her. Aman comes along, fiddling with his own car keys.
I am sorry.
For what?
I did not mean to interrupt your prayers.
You didn't.
If it's any consolation, I don't think God wants to punish you.
How do you know what my God wants?
If he wants to punish you without remedy, what kind of God is that?
Kind I'd get stuck with.
What's your name?
Nisha.
Nisha. Nice to meet you. Why do you have to pray out in the open? Do you have no temple? We have a small mandir down in the village. You're more than welcome.
And how do you know which God I pray to?
We welcome any and all of them.
Even the ones that punish?
Even those. It's Dushira soon.
And you assume I celebrate Dushira? I've not celebrated Dushira in a long time.
What's not to celebrate? The victory of good over evil, light over darkness, Rama saving his wife.
Nisha jumps off the hood of her car and gets in, drives off without another word. Aman is left standing there, stopping in the middle of his sentence. Internal, Nisha's house, bedroom, night. Nisha is tossing and turning in bed. She gets up defiantly. Rummaging around her cupboards and wardrobes, she pulls out an old tattered picture. It's a colourful and kitschy image of Rama, the Hindu god that's celebrated on Dussehra.
Dushira? Do you remember Dushira?
The picture stares back at her, silent. She crumples it up, throws it back into the wardrobe. Internal, big hall Dussehra festival night. The Dussehra festival is in full swing. Dublin's Hindu community has gathered to celebrate Rama's victory over Ravana. Aman is among the party guests, speaking to as many people as he can. It becomes clear that he is somewhat of a community leader. There is a play happening on a stage depicting how Rama saved his wife Sita from Ravana. Somewhere in the crowd, feeling lost and alone, is Nisha. She looks shy and out of place. Aman spots her.
Hey, I didn't think you'd come, Nisha, right?
Yes, Nisha.
Welcome. Welcome. Help yourself to some food. The women are always so generous. They make enough food to feed all of India. Here, take. Eat.
She takes a piece of candy but does not eat.
It's not your proper Dushira. I'm afraid Ravana will not be burnt here, health and safety, but the plays and the music.
She's not interested in anything he has to say. He's lost for words.
Well, if you need anything further, don't hesitate to ask.
He's called away. Later, Nisha has settled into a quiet spot and is watching the play unfold. On stage, Sita is imprisoned by the evil Ravana. The crowd is quieter. There is less happening in the hall. Aman finds Nisha again.
Now, sorry, it's always busy at the start until everyone gets reacquainted.
It's okay.
So, how long have you been in Ireland?
Since I was 16.
Oh, so your parents brought you along?
No.
Surely you didn't come to Ireland from India on your own.
Yes.
Oh. Why?
You ask a lot of questions.
Well, I feel
Feel.
that was the wrong way of putting it.
She stops to watch the play some more. On stage, the play has reached a climax. A fight has broken out. Rama is pushing Ravana back.
I used to love that. Remember the horrible TV shows?
Horrible?
Yeah, where the weapons would suddenly just appear, and the lightning and the women. They were always so helpless, and the screaming and the dancing until the ankles were bleeding. What was the fascination with that?
I love those cheesy shows. Oh, come on, not again. Don't just walk off.
I saw what I came to see.
And what was that?
I don't know.
She turns to walk away, but Aman's next words stop her.
So you've been alone since you were 16? Where's your family?
Nisha points to the stage in a dramatic, over-the-top way where Rama is reunited with Sita.
Oh, come on, I'm serious.
But she just shrugs and disappears into the crowd. Meghna, Aman's wife, appears by his side.
Who was that?
I don't know. What are you doing here? I thought you were flying to London.
There is obvious distance between them.
I wanted to see how you'd manage without me. You managed well. Who was she?
No one.
I never thought I'd hear you say that about anyone in this community.
This community?
These people were always everything to you. If there was a person here who felt they didn't belong, you would work until they did. Until this was as much their home as it is yours. And yet, you're standing here with me, instead of making her feel like she belongs. That's not the Aman I know.
Yeah, well, maybe you don't know this man anymore.
He walks off. External, big hall, night. Aman is among the last of the festival goers. Goes to slowly file out of the venue. He takes his usual deep breath, then heads towards his car. He spots Nisha sitting nearby.
Seriously?
Seriously, what?
You've been out here this whole time?
No. I got myself some fish and chips and a beer, and I took a walk on the beach, and I think I saw a dolphin, but it might have been a person drowning, though. Hard to tell.
Fish and chips on the beach. Completely Indian.
That I am.
He sits down.
So
with
you've
her.
lived here for like what, 10 years?
13.
13. And this is the first time you take part in any celebration? Meet anyone in your community? Why?
My community?
Sure. We're all in the same boat, stuck here, stuck on this cold, small little rock in the middle of the Atlantic with nothing to hold on to but each other. But then again, you prefer fish and chips to aloo gobi. You probably prefer cold mists to monsoon rain too.
This is my home.
Yeah, sure, it's my home too. But when was the last time you were in India?
13 years ago.
When was the last time you saw your family?
15 years ago.
And does that not hurt?
She gets up and leaves. He throws his hands up in frustration.
One of these days, please finish the conversation.
Internal Irish village shop day. Nisha is stocking shelves in her little shop. She has Indian music playing and her scarf draped over her head. She hears someone enter the shop, quickly turns off the Indian music and takes her scarf off.
Just a minute.
She walks to the front to see Aman.
Oh.
Aman points to the scarf that still half clings to her head.
Nice journey.
Nisha takes it off completely and throws it behind the counter. They stare at each other for a moment. The tension is broken by the bell on the door.
There goes the bell.
John, the old customer, enters, oblivious to what he's interrupting, not even looking up. Aman is bemused.
How are you, Nisha?
All good, John. How's Mary?
We had to go up to Dublin for a physio thing.
Nisha and Aman keep looking at each other, holding back a laugh as John gathers his few things in the cramped shop. Nisha and Aman never break eye contact.
And the lamb?
Yes, out back. Alan will handle it for you.
Fair play.
He has finally made it to the till and he finally looks up.
Jesus, yous are multiplying, yous Indians, are you?
The tension between Aman and Nisha finally breaks and they burst out laughing.
No. I don't know how he found our little hideout here, John. Not to worry. We're not taking over.
I wouldn't mind if you did. Bit of colour in the air, bit of red and yellow and green. Well, keep telling her she should open an Indian around here. We'd love a bit of curry once in a while, you know.
And I keep telling you, I can't cook.
They put his stuff through the till and John shuffles out with a smile at Aman.
So, really, this is not a Bollywood movie, you know? No need to stalk the girl.
I'm not stalking you. I'm here to buy
He grabs at some chocolate bars at the till.
a Twix and a Snickers.
And you drove all the way from Bray because they don't have these exotic items in Bray, of course.
I wanted to ask if you wouldn't mind going for a cup of coffee.
What? You know I'm 29, right?
No, not like that. I run an outreach program that's sponsored by the Indian Embassy. We organise festivals, religious gatherings, help with visas and such.
No need.
Of course, because being completely alone for 13 years is just so much fun.
I'm not alone. I have.
Sure. Now, watch me walk out of the middle of your sentence.
He dramatically turns and walks out the shop. He's back a second later, grinning, handing Nisha a leaflet.
Just in case the 14th year being alone isn't so awesome anymore.
He bows and leaves. Nisha is left looking at the leaflet. Then she slowly pulls up her scarf again. External, clifftop, car park day. Nisha is sitting on the hood of her car. Her chunny flies around her. It's a misty sort of day. She closes her eyes, listening to a memory of heavy rain.
Monsoon.
She looks up at heaven.
Do you remember monsoon? Do you remember what that feels like? That first rain of the season. The drops are so heavy. They soak straight through your bones.
But the sky stays silent. Internal, Aman's office day. It's a small and stuffy office. Aman is engrossed in his work. In comes Nisha.
Hello, one moment, please.
Sure.
He jumps.
Oh, wow. Hello. Okay. Hello.
She hands him 2 chocolate bars.
You never paid and you never took them.
It's such an exotic treat.
A cup of coffee?
An even better treat.
Internal, cafe, day. Aman and Nisha are sitting in a coffee shop. Awkward silence.
So, why did you come here?
When Meghna and I were married, we originally wanted to move to London. But as things go, London was too expensive, so we settled here. I have a cousin here, so it was easier. She's moving to London now. Belated, but I suppose dreams die hard.
Oh, when are you going?
No, not me, just her. She still wants to more from life. I'm fine where I am. I have the community, I work with the people, but she's made for bigger things. She's going to be running a magazine over there.
Oh.
Yeah, what a shock. Actually, nobody knows. They all suspect it, but nobody knows. We're still officially together, still the perfect husband and wife. We have been for 20 years.
There's no such thing.
As a perfect husband and wife?
No.
Gosh, you really have a bleak outlook on life, don't you? Your God is vengeful and wants to punish you. Marriage is a sham. Loneliness is good. And God forbid you ever finish a conversation without walking off.
It's not that bad. I also drink a lot.
Well, that's all right then. Where's your family?
Don't. Don't.
What?
Ask me anything. Talk about the weather, football, cricket even. Ask me about what the last movie I saw was. Ask me about my hobbies, but don't. I'm not a charity case, am I?
No, you're not a charity case. I am not a charity. This is not a charity.
I shouldn't have come.
Why did you?
I don't know.
I'll tell you. At Deshira, you couldn't stand to be in that room. You couldn't stand to be around all of us. It reminded you, and for whatever reason, that reminder hurt. And I don't care. It's not my business to know. I just have one question. Don't you think you need people around you sometimes?
Nisha moves as if to get up.
I mean, you run. That's your default. If anything risks touching you, you run. And that's okay. Hey, look at me. That's okay. It's okay to run. It's okay to do whatever you need to do. I'm not going to ask questions. I'll just sit here with you. What was the last movie you saw?
Nisha sits back down. She says nothing more and they sit together in silence. External, beach, day. Nisha and Aman are walking on the beach, still in silence. Aman stops to throw a stone in the water. Nisha throws one too. Hers flies a lot further. Spurned on, Aman makes a competition out of it.
I should warn you, I played cricket in my youth.
Nisha finds an old piece of driftwood, uses it to fling her stone even further.
And I played hockey.
They pick up the pace. It becomes a game. This is the image of a father and daughter playing on the beach.
I'm an old man.
Yes.
Nisha jumps up and down. She has clearly won.
Yes.
Well done. Well done, my girl.
It's an endearing term, usually reserved for family members. It makes Nisha look up. She backs away. Aman knows the moment is over.
At least finish the conversation this time. Or say goodbye.
What conversation?
Don't you think you need people around you sometimes?
She turns away, but with a deep breath, she manages to stay and face him.
I think I do. I came to thank you for inviting me to Dejera. Thank you for that. And thank you for today.
You're welcome.
Namaste.
See you again.
She walks away. Aman tosses one last stone into the water. Nisha returns and wordlessly bows before Aman, touching his feet. Then she runs off. Internal, Aman's house, living room, night. Aman is sitting with a glass of scotch. Meghna lets herself in.
You know, you really should knock, or at least call ahead.
Won't happen again. I'm leaving the keys here.
Right.
Don't be so bitter. This is 2 years in the making.
Yeah.
He drinks a generous measure.
Did you ever find the lost girl?
What?
The one you lost at the festival. Did she ever turn up?
Yeah.
I knew you would.
And why is that?
Because because that always matters most to you. Other people's problems, other people's loneliness, their hurt. Always be helpful, Aman. Helping other people's children.
Whose children was I supposed to help?
Ah, the old wound,
What do you need, Meghna?
the divorce.
Great. Fantastic. Awesome.
Hey, Aman. Aman, please look at me. Aman, I love you. I love you so much, and I admire you. What you do, who you are, don't ever change. Don't ever stop helping other people's children. Don't ever stop chasing after the lost ones until they belong.
She gently kisses him on the forehead, then hands him the divorce papers and leaves. Internal, cafe, day. Aman sits down with a cup of coffee and newspaper. He notices Nisha at another table. Smiling to himself, he walks over.
Now who's talking?
Hi.
How are you? May I sit?
Sure.
She looks terrible.
Well, aren't you a glowing picture of health?
I drank too much.
Yeah, that's not something to be proud of.
I'm not proud of it.
Good.
You seem less chipper than normal.
The divorce is finalised.
Oh. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's been a long time coming.
Still.
Yes, isn't it tragic when family is torn apart and we lose the connection to our relations?
Don't start.
You never answered my question.
Which of the 50 million questions you've asked me so far?
What was the last movie you saw?
This makes her smile. Scenes of Nisha and Aman spending time together. They go for walks on the beach. They go to the cinema. They shop for clothes for Aman. Everything has a very father-daughter feel to it. Internal, Nisha's house, kitchen, night. Aman is helping Nisha put up a cabinet.
Do you want to have dinner here?
Sure.
What will I make? I have roast chicken. I can make some pasta or a stir fry.
How about some roti and dal?
Are you joking?
What if I am?
I don't like jokes.
Aman grins, waiting for Nisha to finish the quote, but she doesn't. He throws his arms up in frustration.
Oh, come on. Surely you know I don't like jokes. I don't like you. No? Nothing? Oh, God.
I'll make pizza.
No roti and dal then. I don't like you.
Nisha looks at him for a moment. Then she breaks out into the choreography from that movie scene. Aman is overjoyed.
Yeah, she does remember.
Internal, men's clothing shop, day. Nisha and Aman are shopping for shirts for Aman. It's Christmas time. Aman is in the changing room.
So what are you doing for Christmas?
Christmas?
Yeah. Have you heard about it? It's this little thing. It's this tiny little festival that some people celebrate. It's tiny, absolutely not hugely commercially important or anything.
Yeah, you know, with your wit, you really ought to become a politician.
I'm too salty to become a politician. And too brown.
Don't say that. This country has had an Indian Prime Minister before.
So, Christmas.
Meghna and I used to go to India for Diwali and then stay for a month. So we didn't go this year, and so I will spend Christmas alone at home.
Are you putting up a tree?
No.
Oh.
He comes out of the changing room.
Now who's asking 50 million questions?
What do you want for Christmas anyway?
I just want my Nisha to be happy. How's that?
Now, come on, be serious. You're so difficult to buy for.
I don't need anything.
You always say that.
But I have everything.
Socks then.
Yes. Socks.
They laugh and go to pay. Internal cafe day. Aman and Nisha are sitting together in a comfortable silence.
I bought a tree.
An apple tree? No, let me guess. A mango tree?
What a joker.
I'll help you put it up and decorate it. Only if we can put ladoos on it instead of baubles.
You're crazy.
Internal Nisha's house, living room day. Nisha is unpacking a ridiculous amount of Christmas decorations. Aman comes in carrying a much too big tree.
I thought over there. You okay?
No,
He drops the tree.
I'm an old man, Nisha.
They struggle to put up the tree. It is comically huge for the small living room.
Smells nice.
They decorate together.
Actually, while you're here,
What needs fixing this time?
the sink is getting loose.
I brought my tools.
Thanks. I'll make some dinner.
Internal Nisha's house, kitchen, night. Nisha is in the kitchen trying her best to make roti. The dough is too sticky at first, but she succeeds in the end. She proudly holds up the first roti she has made in 13 years. Aman comes in, a look of pure wonder and amazement on his face. She gives him the bread. He bows down to her. Then he lifts her up, swirls her around. Later, they are sitting down to eat. The Indian food in front of them looks delicious. They are laughing. It's pure bliss.
Thank you for this. Can I have one more request?
Oh God. What now?
Please.
First tell me what. First tell me what.
First promise me you'll say yes.
No.
Come on, Nisha.
Okay.
Okay, give me 10 minutes.
He runs off. A few minutes later, he calls Nisha from the living room.
Okay, you can come now. And you're not allowed to protest, and you're not allowed to say no.
That sounds bad.
Come on, and close your eyes when you come in.
Nisha shudders, but a small smile appears nonetheless. Internal, Nisha's house, living room, night. Nisha walks into the living room, eyes firmly shut. Aman awaits her with open arms. For a brief moment he stops to look at her, but the fleeting moment passes. He holds his hand on front of her eyes.
Promise me you won't scream.
Okay, this is getting ridiculous now.
Yeah, promise me you won't hit me.
Aman!
Okay, keep your eyes closed until it started.
Aman!
Aman presses the play button on the remote for the TV. An Indian movie starts playing. Music and colour fills the room. Nisha opens her eyes. She's half amused, half annoyed.
You're not allowed to touch the remote until it's over.
Later, Nisha and Aman are both drinking and dancing to the music in the movie.
Told you.
I need more alcohol.
He gets another bottle of wine and pours himself another whiskey. They dance and dance until they both fall down. It's Nisha's old familiar position, drunk on the floor. But for once, she's not alone. They laugh as the music fades.
I have not danced like that in a long time. Yeah, come to think of it, I've not danced like that since my brother's wedding 10 years ago.
I haven't danced like this.
Aman turns to her. The moment has come. It's serious. It's sad. The moment is finally here.
What happened?
I ran away.
How? Why?
One day, my Ammi ji, she came to tell me that they were getting ready to fix the deal with my future husband. 14, so old enough for the details to be put in place. And I wouldn't get married until I was 18 because my family were ever so progressive. Dear family.
And they just let you go. Surely
He tried. Tried to hold me, but tried to find me. My father wasn't so keen on finding me in the end. And, it wasn't even the marriage. I didn't care about that part. I was ready for that. I was an Indian girl. I knew I was bred and raised for this day. I knew that was my fate. But what kind of a bride? What kind of a wife would I have? I would have tried. But,
She stops herself, tries to get up, but Aman holds her back gently.
But
a long story. And I am too drunk to tell it. Let's drink some more. Let's watch another movie.
Nisha, why did you run away?
I couldn't do that to them.
But I don't understand. Don't you miss your family?
No.
But you're alone.
She moves towards him, takes his hand. She puts his hand on her head, bows down.
Am I?
Overcome by emotion, he kisses her forehead, then holds her tight.
No. No, you're not alone. My girl. Not now.
Internal temple in an Irish house day. Some members of the Indian community have gathered. Quiet chatting is going on. Nisha comes in with a plate full of blessings and flowers. She's clearly uncomfortable, but makes her way to the statues of the gods anyway, and she rings the bell. As she rings the bell, Aman appears by her side.
Hey!
They pray together. External, Irish mountains, day. Nisha and Aman have gone hiking in the mountains.
If we reach the top, I'm really going to be proud of us. Come on, this is a steep mountain.
This is not a mountain.
What?
This is a hill. It's a tiny little hill. These are not mountains.
Okay, spare me the lecture, Miss Yeti.
A boy from Haryana wouldn't understand.
Hey, we've got mountains.
No, you don't.
Oh, here it comes.
These mountains. These are not mountains. A mountain, a real mountain, stretches into the sky so high that you forget that you're actually still on this earth. And when you're at the top and the clouds come down from the below, down from the valley, and the monsoon is happening down there, but it can't reach you. You're too high up, and then the clouds gather and they cover you like a blanket, and you can send your dreams and wishes with them. When everything is gray and green, and you can smell the wet stone, that's a mountain.
Aman has stopped to listen to her. Grinning at first, he gets lost in her story.
Where the snow leopard and the snake still hides in the steep rocks, and where the people are so hardened by the narrow cliffs that their fingers are like rocks. That's a mountain. And even when it's smoldering hot, down in the valley, you can still see your breath. That is a mountain, Aman.
He sits down on a rock.
I'd love to see them one day.
Yeah.
She sits down next to him.
Do you miss it a lot?
Yes. I know. I miss the smell of the freshly cut grass. When I used to carry it down the mountainside, I miss the taste of the berries, the music.
But not the people.
I try to tell myself that nothing's changed. That if I ever went there, nothing would have changed. Everyone would still be the same. Nobody would be old. Nobody would be dead. Time stops when we leave. It's hard to acknowledge that time may have moved on, Even there, they've got Facebook now. When I was born, they didn't have TV. They've got smartphones now. When I was growing up, we didn't have running water in our house. They've got AC in their houses. When I learned to make roti, it was on a chula made of clay.
I remember those times. I remember the games. Flying kites, running through the rice fields. You didn't need Facebook or a TV.
You were lucky you got to fly the kites. My father was always very clear that this is not a sport for girls.
I was brilliant. And my kites always flew the highest.
Really?
Maybe only because we had the highest roof in the village.
Oh, so you're a rich boy.
I wouldn't say that. My father had a good position, but I suppose, yeah, we were.
You only have one brother, don't you?
Yes, Rohit. He works in the States. I haven't seen him in 10 years.
Do you ever go home?
Not as much as I would like. And not as much as I used to.
Why? You're the one always raving about your great and unique and wonderful Bharat, your Haryana.
There's nothing more beautiful. And our house is amazing. I used to have a room on the second floor. The walls were decorated, painted. My mother's voice, she never speaks quietly. Everything she says is loud, is a command, a song. You know, she's quick to love you and quick to throw you out in your bum. And with one look, she can look straight into your soul. There's no secret. And I swear to the Lord of Light that she has eyes in the back of her head. And she can read my thoughts. I promise you. She knows everything. And she is never wrong. I've never met a woman so resourceful, so wise.
She sounds great.
She is. I miss her. You'd like her. She's fierce like you.
Fierce? Me? I'm not fierce.
I don't know. There's something in you. And you're going to run away now, aren't you?
But she has already taken off and is running up the mountain, laughing and taunting Aman. He runs after her. Internal, Nisha's house kitchen day. Nisha is making lunch for herself and Aman. He comes in from the garden.
I fixed it.
Thanks.
Meghna called.
Why?
Wants to know how I was getting on, if I was lonely.
Are you?
No.
External, Nisha's house garden day. Spring has sprung. Nisha's garden is full of flowers. Aman is sitting in a comfy chair, enjoying the first rays of sunshine. Out of nowhere, colour explodes around him. He's engulfed in hues of red and yellow. Nisha has thrown powdered colour on him.
Happy Holi!
He jumps up, wipes his face and chases after her. He gets at her, steals her colour and throws it back at her. The colours mix with their laughter. Internal, Nisha's house, living room, day. Aman comes out of the shower, wiping the last of the colour off him. Nisha is still drenched in yellow, red and blue.
You with your westernised ways. I didn't think you'd remember Holi.
How could I forget? I used to love Holi.
Me too. We should go to India next year.
We?
Yeah, both of us. Visit my family. Can hardly visit yours now, can we? It'd be great fun. Meet everyone.
Somehow this causes tension with Nisha.
Yeah. You bring me to your family. In that big house with the high roof. To your room on the second floor. And then what?
What do you mean?
Who am I?
What? Your name is Nisha Kapoor. You live in Enniskerry. You work in a shop. What do you mean? Who are you?
Who am I to you?
He sits down, dejected.
Oh.
Exactly. Let's assume we go visit your family. We walk in, take off our shoes, bow to your parents, your uncles, and your aunties, settle down for a nice cup of chai and a few laddus, and then... Very nice. Your new wife. Much younger. This one might give you children. Or, worse still, why did you adopt an adult girl? Why not a smaller child? Hope she's not after your money. And where is Meghna in all of this?
No.
Which one would it be?
Not like that. You're just a friend.
Aman, please, you know that's not how that goes.
I never thought about it. That's what like about Western culture. There's no strict set of rules what you can or cannot be for someone else. But you're right. As soon as our bare feet touched the clay floor in my parents' house, we would be defined, categorized, put into a box of what we are to each other, what we ought to be to each other.
Nisha sits down next to Aman. He puts his arm around her. Colours mix again.
What we are. I miss that. I miss having a clear definition of what I ought to be, what's expected of me. From the moment I was born, I was clear what I would become. I was an Indian girl from a poor mountain village. I was completely myself there. I didn't have to pretend to be white or to be just ever so slightly ashamed to like movies with dancing in them. I was just a girl from a village, cutting grass for the cows, playing with the stones, putting raki on my cousins, climbing the neem tree in the village, getting bored at the banjiyat. My job was clear. My whole life was clear. One day, I'd marry a boy from the next village over, and my duty would be to love an Indian man more than life itself. My duty would be to give him children and a happy home. And that's all I ever dared to dream. Somewhere inside my guts, I guess, I'm still waiting for that. Waiting for my red dress. Waiting for someone to color my hairline red. I'll never get that. I didn't get it then. I won't ever get it now. And the whole world is yelling at me that those are stupid dreams, that I'm dreaming of oppression and that the culture is wrong. But it's not wrong. It's not. I was ready to become the wife of whoever my parents chose. It wasn't oppression, not the way I saw it. It was a promise. It was a promise that I would be looked after. That even after I left my own family, I would have just that. A family. But my family was different. I couldn't bring my shame into another family. I couldn't do that to whoever would be unlucky enough to be matched with me.
What happened?
It takes a long time for Nisha to find the words. When she does, it's heartbreaking for her to admit, and heartbreaking for Aman to hear. They hold on to each other for dear life.
I couldn't marry anyone. How could I do that to them? You're supposed to be pure when you go to your husband's house. How could I ever go?
What do you mean?
She looks at him, tries to make him understand without having to say it, but he doesn't.
It's not. I was not pure. They arranged for me to get married. I hadn't been for as long as I can remember. And isn't that the promise the girl is supposed to keep? While her parents promise her safety.
It dawns on Aman what she is saying. He struggles, does not want to believe.
Who? Who?
She looks
Who?
at him, then she takes his hands, puts it on her head.
Baabul. Since when?
As long as I can remember. He broke his promise first. And I was not about to bring our broken promises, my broken promises, our broken family into my husband's family. Even after all of that, I still believe. I believe in it so much. You once said that I don't believe in marriage. That's not true. That's the one thing. That's the one thing I believe in the most. The one thing I can never have. Not the way I wanted it anyway.
No. I'm so sorry. I am sorry.
Both are openly crying now, holding each other. Internal temple in an Irish house, day. A man is praying on his knees, silent tears streaming down his face. Nisha joins him, gently touching him on the shoulder before she too kneels down to pray. Aman reaches out, holding her hand. External beach, day. Aman and Nisha are playing on the beach again. Internal, Nisha's house, kitchen, night. Nisha is cooking. Aman helps. Later. After their dinner, Aman silently gets up, reaches out for Nisha's hand, silently asking her to follow him. He puts his finger to her lips when she tries to speak. He takes her to her bedroom. Internal, Nisha's house, bedroom, night. Aman is leading Nisha into the bedroom.
Close your eyes.
She closes her eyes. He leads her towards a corner in her bedroom where he has prepared a small shrine. The crumpled up picture of Rama has been framed. Incense sticks are lighting. He rings a small bell. Nisha opens her eyes.
Do you still think you're being punished?
I don't know.
I don't think this is what's happening. I don't think your God wants to punish you. None of this is punishment. I think he saved you. He gave you the strength to run away. He's holding you. This is not punishment.
What else is it then?
I don't know, but you did the right thing. You needed to run, and you did. But you can stop running now. You don't have to run forever. And you didn't need to run to protect someone else's honor, someone else's pride. You need to be safe and free, and you need to be who you are.
Aman.
And somewhere in there, I promise you, there is hope. And a moment will come when it doesn't hurt.
Nisha gently hugs him. Internal cafe, day. Aman and Nisha are in their familiar cafe, comfortable with each other. The only difference is now they are holding hands. Internal, Aman's house, living room, night. Aman's house feels unfamiliar. It feels empty, not lived in. Aman is sitting down, but it feels like he does not belong here. A knock on the door.
You know, honey, you have a key. Use it. By the way, I actually accidentally took...
He stops dead when he opens the door to find Meghna.
You accidentally took what?
What are you doing here?
I emailed you.
When?
This morning on your work email.
I was not in work today.
Oh,
Now, you could have texted.
I should have. Am I interrupting anything? What did you accidentally?
Nothing. What do you need?
Jesus, why are you so short with me?
You're my ex-wife. Isn't that what I'm supposed to be?
Yeah, but we're different. I came by to say your mother called me again. Oh, we need to tell them.
I'll do that.
Can you do it, Sue? She sent me stuff. She sends me so much stuff. She's convinced we both live in London.
Yeah, but I'll fly over next Holy.
That's still like 9 months away.
I might go for Dashira.
What is going on with you?
What do you mean?
For the last time, whose what did you accidentally what?
I thought you were somebody else.
Like who?
No one. What do you want from me, Meghna?
I was going to take you to dinner to ask how you've been coping.
Coping?
Yeah.
Meghna, always so concerned what happens in your wake. And also never concerned by what happens in your wake. I'm fine. Let's go for dinner.
Well, now it feels like you're checking up on me.
Well, how have you been coping without me in your life? Was it difficult? I can understand that.
Internal restaurant night. Aman and Meghna are enjoying their dinner together.
So, what did you accidentally what?
Oh, drop it.
What's her name?
What do you mean?
I have known you for more than 20 years. Don't mess with me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This was always your problem. You love so intensively, so unconditionally. You love like a firestorm.
No.
So what's her name?
You're getting it all wrong.
I must say, I am a bit disappointed. I always thought I'd be the one to start dating first.
No, it's not like that, Meghna.
Then
No.
what?
She's...
Then what? What is she?
Well, it won't be a he now, will it?
Well, you never know.
No. She's a very sweet girl.
Oh my God, a sweet girl. How old is she?
She'll be 30 in September, but that's not the point. You're missing the...
I never thought you'd be a cradle robber. And I also never thought you'd hit your midlife crisis this hard. When's the sports card due?
Oh, Meghna, stop. Listen. It's not like that. She's alone. And so was I for a while there. And it just kind of fitted. I can't explain it. She could probably explain it better. She always tends to find the words. She's like family.
Family? Like, did you adopt her?
Sometimes I think she adopted me. You know, she's funny. At first I thought she was just this little weird loner, but as she would put it, she also drinks a lot. And you know, she'll tell you she hates something, and then in the next moment you catch her being deliriously happy doing exactly that. She'll say she hates monsoon, and then you catch her dancing in the rain.
You're in love with a 30-year-old.
It's not love.
What the hell is it?
Not love.
What then?
He shrugs, but something is stirring in him. He's uneasy for the rest of the meal. External, beach, day. Aman is walking on the beach by himself. He sees a couple throwing stones into the water together. The woman wins. Her partner gives her a high five before hugging her. Aman stops, then looks towards the mountains in the distance. Internal, Nisha's house, bedroom, night. Nisha is asleep. Heavy rain against her window wakes her. She gets up, looks out, then she makes her way outside. External, Nisha's house, garden, night. Nisha is dancing in the rain in the darkness. Without her noticing, Aman walks up the garden path. He watches her, and as he does, a decision and a realization settles in. He slowly walks up to her, dances with her. It feels romantic all of a sudden. Nisha looks up at him. Something has shifted between them. She takes him by the hand.
Did you know there was a little brook in my garden?
I saw it when I was fixing the shed.
I never found out from where it comes from.
She leads him into the darkness. External brook night. Aman and Nisha are climbing through the dark brook. The canopy of bushes and trees is sheltering them from the rain. Every now and again they reach out for each other, steadying the other, holding each other. They reach a meadow where the brook is fed by a spring. External meadow night. The rain has stopped. Aman and Nisha sit down and look around at the gorgeous night and the beautiful view.
So, what has you driving up the hill on a night like this?
Meghna.
Ah.
She wants to give us a try.
Us, you and me. We've had our chance, don't you think? What does your heart tell you?
I love you.
It slipped out. Aman is surprised and shocked by what he said, but he can't take it back now. He winces, awaiting Nisha's verdict. Nisha just holds him tighter, caressing his hair.
I love you too. You've been such an important part of my life. You're my rock.
Aman
Thanks for that.
Aman closes his eyes, torn between wanting to tell her what he actually meant and the pain that would cause. But Nisha's gentle hands make him forget it all. He loses himself in her touch.
When I was a child, I used to think my mother had magic hands. When I had a headache, she used to press her hand onto my forehead and it would just disappear. They were my favorite things in the whole world. My mother's hands.
The doves by the temple.
What?
My favorite thing in the whole world were the doves by the temple.
Internal, Nisha's house, living room, day. Aman awakes on the couch. He can hear Nisha in the kitchen.
What do you want for breakfast? Sorry.
Sorry?
Oh, poor you. Meghna must have messed with your head yesterday. I've never seen you like that. But you know, she was your wife. You should give her a chance. Show me true love can prevail and provide a steady example and all that crap.
He just quietly takes the frying pan out of her hand and finishes cooking breakfast. Internal, Aman's house, living room, day. Meghna and Aman are sitting together. It's tense.
Please explain this to me.
I wish I could.
I've never seen you like this.
I don't know.
Aman,
What am I going to do?
the girl trusts you. Everyone here, all those people you look after, they all trust you. Whatever there is something, they look to you. Surely you're used to being the one they look to by now.
No one ever looks to me the way she does.
For God's sake, will you cop on?
What am I supposed to do?
Nothing. Let her be. Get her into therapy, because she's clearly messed up by something.
Don't say that. You've no idea what she's been through.
Nor do I want to know. A normal, healthy 30-year-old does not latch herself helplessly onto an old man like yourself.
I'm not that old.
You are. Do whatever you want. But honestly, this is not healthy.
So I just abandon her.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I know you never could, and you shouldn't. Looking after people is what you do. But I'm saying it's not healthy for her. She's obviously alone. But you can't save everyone. And maybe it's not your job to save her. Let her save herself. If you love her, then you must believe she's strong enough to save herself.
Aman sits back down, thinks about it. Meghna smiles, leaning over to kiss him on the forehead.
I'm going back to London. I can see that we have moved along our own paths. I am and will always be proud to have been your wife.
She leaves. Internal, Nisha's house, bedroom, night. Nisha is getting ready for bed. A knock on the door. External, Nisha's house, garden, night. Aman is waiting for Nisha to open the door. Throughout Nisha's outburst, there is a slight grin in her face, a slight laugh behind the eyes.
Oh, really? The wife comes calling, and all of a sudden, all friendships go flying out the window, right? It has been weeks. Also, it's 10.
What?
It is 10 o'clock in the evening.
Yes, I thought I'd drop in. I haven't seen you. I was just. Why am I being yelled at?
It is 10 p.m. on September the 1st.
So?
September the 1st. The 1st of September?
Yes.
What's on September the 1st, Aman?
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Sorry, shit. Oh, God. Happy birthday. I'm sorry.
She lets him stew for a minute, clearly enjoying his stammered apologies. Then she laughs, hugs him and lets him in. Internal, Nisha's house, bedroom, night. Nisha and Aman are coming from the outside.
So, you forgot my birthday. What punishment will I think of?
Oh, I'm sorry. And honestly, whatever you need me to do to make it up to you.
How's Meghna? You guys patched it up?
No, there's no way back for us now.
If that's what your heart tells you, go. Get alcohol. We're drinking.
Later, Nisha and Aman are drunk. They're sitting on the floor together.
I hated that movie. I don't get how it was so successful.
It was awesome. Dirty disco.
It had no plot.
It was awesome. Hardy disco.
She laughs. He lets himself fall down next to her. The mood shifts. He becomes serious.
Nisha, you trust me, don't you?
Please. Don't do this.
I'm not messing it up. I know you're alone, but you don't know just how alone I was before you came along. I pretend to have all those answers, but maybe you need to find the answers for yourself.
Aman, I was alone. I was completely. How was I supposed to? What are you saying? What do you mean by myself?
All I'm saying is, maybe I don't have the answers. Maybe you need to find your own answers. Maybe I can't be who you need me to be.
I don't need to find anything. I'm okay. What were you saying? Are you saying you don't want to be in my life anymore?
I'm saying I can't.
What? You can't. What? You can't.
Look,
What?
it's okay. I'm here. I'm sorry. Like, let's just.
Don't say that.
He knows he would betray her trust if he did what he wants to do. Something more is building between them. She leans in, wants to be held by him. He puts his hands on her face, caressing.
You're not alone now.
There's a fight in him, and there is one in her too. They hold each other, trying to understand what is happening. Aman holds her face, looks at her. There is love in her eyes, but more than that, there is something more. Want.
I'm terrified of you. The way you're looking at me right now, I'm terrified of you.
I'm sorry.
Just stop. Just stop. Pretend like it doesn't hurt.
I'll be whoever you want me to be. Whatever you need me to be. I'll do whatever it takes to make you happy. Anything.
I had a promise once I written into my life that I'd be a good Indian wife of a good Indian man, a man who would love me. There was a promise to my existence to love an Indian man. A man who would drench me in colour and holy and light candles on Diwali, and a man who I would fast for, catch my chuni if it flies away, place it back on my head. I was supposed to love an Indian man. There was a promise that I'd have a man like that. So,
She moves closer to him. There is almost a kiss, almost more than what they want there to be.
Aman.
He is breathless now. She is giving up, giving in.
I love you.
Why?
I love you.
Why?
Aman tries to hold back. All he wants is to kiss her, but his decency wins over and over again. Nisha's conflict is different. For her, it's a struggle of giving him what he wants, and the fear, confusion, and hurt this causes her.
This is wrong.
She kisses him like an explosion. The spell is broken. Aman picks her up, carries her to the bed. He begins to make love to her, but her internal struggle is still there. It's gentle, but it feels wrong.
This is wrong.
I know. I know.
He stops.
No.
I will stop. I will.
Nisha is in tears now, but she is not letting him go. She is still holding him on to him. What she says is the hardest thing she's ever had to say.
Is this how you want to show me your love?
I can't hurt you. I can't hurt you. I love you.
Please.
She pulls him closer, kisses him again, pulls him again and again as he tries to escape.
You're not going to leave me alone. You're not going to leave me alone. Please, Aman, please don't leave me alone.
I'm never going to leave you alone.
He begins to make love to her again, gentle at first, but soon his passion takes over. When he thrusts into her for the first time, she screams silently, tears streaming. He doesn't notice. She kisses him to hide her pain.
This is wrong.
I know.
I love you.
Internal. Nisha's house, bedroom, night. Aman is asleep. Nisha is packing a small bag. She has her passport and a printed ticket in hand. She kisses Aman on the forehead, then leaves. External. India. Delhi Airport. Day. Nisha has landed in India. She is taking in the sights, breathing the polluted air. She is happy, but there is weight on her shoulders. External India, countryside, day. Nisha gets out of a car, watches as women carry water on their heads, watches children play. She goes over to a woman. They speak Hindi.
Excuse me, My phone is saying that I'm on the right road to Tarawa. Am I right?
Yes, Tarawa is that way.
And the Chopra family, they still live there?
Yes, the Chopras have a big house by the pharmacy.
Thank you.
She gets back in her car, waving at the children as they run after her. External, India, Tharwa Village Road, day. Nisha has reached Thora, a small village in Haryana. She looks around, notices the pharmacy and particularly grand house next to it. She takes a breath and walks over to have a closer look. A young man, Vijay, notices her. They speak Hindi.
Are you a tourist? We don't get many tourists here.
Hello. Please, can you tell me if the Chopra family still lives here?
Yes, the Chopras have always lived here. Do you know them?
I know Aman.
Aman?
Yes. Do you know him?
Yes, I knew him before he went to London.
London?
A fierce-looking older woman, Priya, interrupts them.
PJ, what are you doing standing around? Unpack the vegetables, quick, quick!
Nisha immediately recognises Priya as Aman's mother.
Mrs. Chopra?
Yes, child?
She's lost for words, just stares at Priya helplessly, moving as if she's in a dream. She bows to touch Priya's feet.
Child, are you okay? You look
Nisha
like you've seen a ghost.
Nisha tries to speak, but the words won't come.
She was talking about Aman, madam.
Priya puts her hand on Nisha's shoulder as Nisha starts to shiver.
My gosh, child, come inside. What's wrong? PJ, make chai.
Internal, Chopra Mansion, reception room, day. Vijay is bringing chai for Priya and Nisha.
Now sit, tell me. What's the matter?
Sorry, my Hindi is, I don't... I'm a friend of Aman.
Any friend of his is a guest in this house. But Aman has not been home in a long time.
I'm sorry to intrude.
Not at all. Not at all. Any news is good news. How are Aman and Meghna keeping?
I don't really know Meghna. I met Aman just as the divorce was being...
What?
No. I mean, I don't mean theirs. Of course, I was talking about a friend, someone else's divorce. Friends of ours. Not, no.
I understand.
Meghna is always so busy. I never really get a chance to,
Don't mention it. I understand. So what are you looking for here?
family.
Your family?
I thought it was. Sorry, I've known Aman for a while now, and he always speaks so highly of this place and of you. And I was driving through here anyway, and I was curious to see.
In that case, I shall think of you as a daughter. You will stay with us for a few days. Rest. It must have been a long journey.
It was only about 16 hours in the car.
You drove yourself? Child, no, you're a woman.
I know.
No, that's not good. Stay here. Rest. Hey, VJ, make a room ready for Miss...
Nisha.
Nisha. Come, I will show you where you can freshen up.
Internal, Chopra Mansion, Nisha's room, night. Nisha is discovering her surroundings in her room. This is an Indian room, an Indian house. Mosquito nets surround the bed. The windows have no glass, just wooden boards. There is a shrine in the corner. There are decorations on the walls. She smells the fabric, plays with the ornaments, inspects and appreciates every little detail of the room. She's come home. This is familiar to her, yet new. Emotions overwhelm her. She breathes it all in, then collapses onto the bed. Internal, Chopra Mansion, dining room, day. Nisha has come down for breakfast. Priya is already there.
Nisha, good morning. VJ.
By now, Nisha is used to Priya's loud demeanour and she smiles as Priya barks instructions towards Vijay. Internal, Chopra Mansion, reception room, day. Priya has settled down with Nisha for a chat.
My husband is with the army. He is stationed in Delhi at the moment. He was supposed to retire years ago, but he cannot let go. So you live in London?
No. No. I live in Ireland, actually. Mrs. Chopra, I'm a guest in this house, so I can't lie to you. Aman doesn't live in London. He lives in Ireland still. I'm not here to make things difficult for him. I won't say anything more than that. I don't want to cause trouble. It's not why I came here. I don't even know why I came here. He always spoke so highly of you, of his parents, and I don't have parents, and I wanted to get to know. I guess I wanted to know what it's like. But this was a mistake. This was wrong. I shouldn't have come. What am I to you? Right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She gets up, touches Priya's feet and leaves as quick as she can. Priya calls after her, tries to follow her. External, India, Tharwa Village Road Day. Nisha has grabbed her bag and is running to her car. Priya comes after her.
Nisha! Nisha, wait! If you know a man, you know he does not want you running to where you're alone. And you know he will tell us whatever he needs to tell us when he is ready. But please stay. Rest. Where are you going to go?
A small mountain village in Himachal.
That is hundreds of miles away.
I know.
Please stay and rest.
There's a struggle in Nisha. Her instinct is to run. Priya puts her hand on Nisha's head. This breaks the spell. Nisha hugs Priya, emotion finally getting the better of her.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Chopraji. Forgive me.
Nothing to forgive, my child. You've had a long, long journey. A long, long road has brought you here. Rest. Don't run.
Internal, Chopra Mansion, reception room, night. The whole Chopra family has gathered. Cousins, uncles, aunties, children running around. A cousin of Aman's, Gita, is putting henna into Nisha's hands.
Who's Gita? Emma?
I can be.
Yeah.
You look so lovely with henna on.
But you are still wearing your jeans. You should wear a sari. Chiku, go and fetch my yellow sari, the one with the flowers. Go!
Later, Nisha is surrounded by the family. Gita is helping her tie her sari. She looks completely different. She catches a glimpse of herself in the mirror. This makes her emotional.
It's good that you didn't run. You have a family here now.
She looks like a bride, no?
Nisha touches her scalp at the hairline. Music starts playing. Gita takes Nisha by the hand, makes her dance with her. External, Chopra Mansion, back garden, night. Nisha has found a quiet corner for herself. Priya finds her.
Do you love my Aman very much?
What?
Do you love him?
No. It's not like that.
Where is your family?
I don't think I have one anymore.
Your mother?
My mother. I haven't thought about her in a long time. My mother is not.
I'm a mother. You can't hide from me.
My mother is silent. It's not like you. I admire you. You're so...
Loud.
Yes. But in a good way. My mother was not like that. Your hands are kind. Hers would punish, hold me back, and your words are full of confidence. And hers were always afraid of everything.
Is she still alive?
I don't know.
A mother's love is never forgotten, child. Even if it doesn't show, it's there.
I don't feel it.
Feel it here, now.
The two women stand together in the darkness, holding on to each other.
What if my mother isn't alive anymore? What if my father isn't alive? I ran away so long ago and I never looked back, and now I'm here. And now I have to look back, don't I?
Not if you don't want to. Family is not just blood. When I was a young girl, I came into this house, much like you did. The Chopra family took me in, gave me a sari to wear and a bed to sleep in, put Mendi on my hands and made me join in their dance. I've never had daughters. Aman brought Meghna here to live with us. I've never had a daughter or daughter-in-law.
They sit down together, watch smoke rise from the incense sticks.
What's Meghna like?
She was full of ideas. She was a girl from the village here, before she went to Delhi to study. When she came back, she was a whirlwind. A man married her when her father died. They left for London the next day. She writes me letters, and we speak on the phone. I know deep down inside my heart that their marriage is not, but we said we'd not talk about that. How did you get to be in Ireland?
I ran away when I was 14. I made it to Delhi and a charity took on my case. They sent me to Ireland. I was in foster care until I was 18, and then I got a job and a place to live.
All alone?
There was no one else.
I thought maybe a man helped you. He helps Indians abroad, doesn't he?
He has helped me. He has helped me a lot, but he had nothing to do with me coming to Ireland. I only met him about a year ago at Deshera.
Isn't it lonely out there in the world? They have such different ideals, such different values.
Yeah, they do. But our ideals and our values can make you lonely too.
Priya holds her hand. Internal, Chopra mansion, Nisha's room, night. Nisha is falling asleep while the sounds of the night creep in. She looks over at the sari draped over a chair, is tracing the henna on her hand. She is happy. Internal, Chopra mansion, dining room, day. Nisha is helping VG prepare breakfast for the family. She's wearing Indian clothes and looks completely assimilated.
You finish here, I'll get ready for puja.
They want to go to the temple today. It's Panchayat tomorrow.
Nisha just nods, then gets on with her work. External, India, Tharwa Village Road, day. Nisha follows Priya as she strides through the crowd. People greet Priya with deference while Nisha attracts curious looks. Nisha pulls up her scarf to cover her head and face. Priya notices.
When was the last time you walked with a tuni on your head?
14 years ago.
You don't forget what it feels like, do you?
No.
Internal, Tharwa Temple, day. Priya and Nisha are praying and offering sacrifices in the temple. When they have finished their prayers, Priya introduces Nisha to a few villagers. External, Tharwa Village, Square, day. Nisha and Priya continue their exploration of the village, stop here and there for a chat. Nisha is welcomed everywhere they go. Internal, Chopra mansion, kitchen, day. Priya is making food on a traditional clay chula. Nisha joins her.
You've such a modern house. I never thought you'd have a chula.
I fought long and hard. My husband wanted a modern stand-up kitchen. He said my back wouldn't make it much longer, sitting on the ground. But I am an Indian woman. It's what I do.
Those traditions, those small things, you've no idea how painful it is not to have them.
Did you not try to bring your traditions into Ireland with you?
It's hard. I even forgot Hindi, most of it. I tried to become like them. Tried to pretend. When I met Aman, that was the first time in a long time that I have to pretend to be white.
Priya takes her hand. Internal, Chopra mansion, reception room, night. Nisha sits at Priya's feet. Priya is braiding Nisha's hair.
I was only 16 when I was married. A man came very quickly after. We waited about 10 years to have Rohit. Do you have children?
No, what? No. I'm not married.
Have you not found anyone?
I never even started looking.
Why? I'm not saying you need a husband, but a partner in life is a treasure, a steady hand. Life's pathways are broad enough for 4 feet.
I never thought about it.
My child, how long have you put yourself on hold? What are you waiting for? Whose permission?
I don't know.
Be your own mother. And if you cannot, be my daughter.
My father raped me when I was a child.
Priya sinks to her knees next to Nisha. She can barely breathe. She is shook to the core.
My girl. My child.
Now it is Nisha who holds Priya in her lap while the old woman cries. External India, Tharwar Village Road, day. Nisha is carrying groceries towards the Chopra house. Something catches her eye. There is a commotion in the village square. People seem to be surrounding Aman. She shrugs it off and goes inside. Internal Chopra mansion, dining room, day. Nisha is cleaning. The house feels empty. Suddenly she stops.
Please, don't. I'll go and you can tell your parents everything. They don't ask and I don't say. That's the deal.
Aman has arrived.
She told me
Told you what?
that a girl came looking for me. A lost girl. A girl with no family and no home. And how could I send her away? How could I watch her helplessly run away? How could I abandon her without making sure she was safe? They said I needed to come here and bring you home, make you safe.
She turns to him, but this time she's not brave enough. She runs. External India, Tharwa Village Road, day. Nisha's car has been parked in a quiet corner for so long that people are using it as a handy storage space. She lifts a chicken off the car. She looks up at Aman, who just silently watches her run away yet again. Scenes of Nisha in India. She's driving along a dirt road, stops to look at camels and elephants. She bathes in a river, gets a blessing from a holy man. She stops at a rickety old hotel for the night, has dinner with a family, and watches a little girl dance around the tables. While she drives, her emotions range from wild happiness to sadness, anger, fear, and grief. External India, Mountain Road, day. Nisha has stopped at a steep mountain road to stretch her legs. She looks around. This is her home, the place she belongs. Her emotions overwhelm her as she sits on the hood of her car, overlooking the wilderness, crying, praying, holding herself. External India, Mountain Village Temple, day. The village temple has not changed since Nisha ran away. The doves are undisturbed by her presence as she slowly walks up to the temple. No one notices her. She slips inside and unseen. Internal India, village temple, day. Nisha is alone inside. At the statue of Shiva, she kneels down. She speaks to him, but he stays silent.
You've not changed. I have. Did you ever forgive me? Turns out there's nothing to forgive. I don't expect anyone to show me mercy. I don't want it. But look at what it's come to. I can't speak to you in the language of this land because I've forgotten it all. I can't tie a sari. I don't feel the monsoon on my skin. For once in your life, will you help me? Help me. I had no place in this world. For so long, I had no place in this world. Priya says, I should be my own mother. I should be my own father. Then what does that make you?
She sinks down, silently praying. External India, Mountain Village Street Day. Nisha is walking. Under the tree, there are still men playing cards and drinking. Merchants, children, goats, cows, nothing has changed except for the smartphones here and there. She finds a hotel, goes inside. Internal hotel reception day. Nisha is entering a tiny hotel. The man at reception eyes her lazily.
Welcome to Omni House. How many nights, please?
Hello. 4 nights. No, maybe 5 nights. Can I extend it longer if I need to?
If we have the room. Certainly, miss. What is your name?
Nisha Chopra.
Nishika Chopra.
Nisha Chopra.
All right, miss. If you follow me, I will get your luggage.
Internal hotel room day. Nisha looks out onto the bustling street below. External India, Mountain Village Street Day. Nisha kneels down by a merchant. They speak Hindi.
Can I ask you something, Uncle?
Sure, my child.
Do you know if Om Kapoor, is still alive?
Om Kapoor. Of course he's still alive.
And he still lives up the hill?
No. They moved to the valley. They took over some land down there.
Nisha gets up, looks around. This is, for some reason, devastating to her. External mountainside day. Nisha has climbed up the mountain. From here she can overlook the valley below. Suddenly there is music. She goes searching for it. External Indian wedding day. There is an exuberant wedding going on. Nisha gets caught up in the festivities. She is pulled in for a dance. Later, she is sitting down with the rest of the wedding guests to eat. 2 long rows of people on the ground, eating rice and lentils of banana leaves. Music is still playing. External Indian wedding night. The festivities last long into the night. Nisha is still mingling. Then the time comes. The bride is brought out, carried by her uncles and brothers in palanquin. She is dressed in red and gold, a veil covering her face. Nisha is dazzled and saddened at the same time. She cries along with the bride. Nisha turns to a woman nearby.
Arranged marriage?
No, love marriage.
This makes Nisha smile. Internal hotel room night. Nisha is settled down for the night, listening to the celebration still going on outside. External India Valley. Rice fields day. Nisha is making her way across a rice field. She finds a little girl, Annie, 10, working in the field. They speak Hindi.
Hello, child.
What is it?
The Kapoor family. Where are they?
The girl waves at a farmhouse nearby.
What's your name?
Annie. I'm their daughter.
In shock, Nisha sinks to the ground. She looks at Annie, tries to take it all in. She sees herself in the child. The dam breaks. She cries uncontrollably. Annie comes over to her.
What is it?
You are Om Kapoor's daughter?
Annie nods. Nisha hugs her tight. The girl allows it.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for what's happening to you. I'm so sorry.
The child is confused. It lets Nisha exhaust her emotions. When Nisha is all cried out, she lets the girl go.
Can you take me home?
Annie nods and runs off like the wind. External Kapoor house garden day. Annie and Nisha have arrived.
Ammi! Ma! Someone came.
Nisha takes a look around. She has her back to the porch when her mother, Sapna, comes out. Nisha feels her before she sees her, and it takes strength for her to turn round. When she does, Sapna cries out in surprise and runs back inside. Moments later, a much older Ammi comes out. She looks at Nisha as if she's seeing a ghost, then retreats back into the darkness of the house. Annie follows the woman. External Kapoor house garden night. Nisha has settled down outside the house. She is wrapping herself in a blanket, still staring at the porch. She's falling asleep. Suddenly, Sapna appears at her side, holding a plate of food and a cup of chai.
Eat, child. Eat.
Thank you.
Sapna speaks Hindi while Nisha insists on answering back in English.
Where did you come from?
Abroad. Ireland.
You live far away.
Yes.
Eat, my child. Eat. 1 minute.
She gets back up. Nisha eats her mother's food. The taste stirs emotions in her. A few minutes later, Sapna returns with a plate of puja. She waves it in front of Nisha's face, blessing her. Then she applies a tika to Nisha's forehead. Nisha is well aware of the gravity of these gestures. She bows down to touch her mother's feet. This breaks the spell. They hug, crying, hurting. The reunion is bittersweet, but for now the sorrow is forgotten.
Please come inside.
No.
Come inside. This is your home.
No, I can't come inside.
Please, my child.
Nisha pulls away from her mother. Sapna looks old, frail. Nisha steadies her.
My child.
It takes a long time for Nisha to build the courage, and she takes a deep breath before she says,
Where's father?
He's up in the mountains. We got a call yesterday that someone was asking for him. That must have been you. I can call him.
No, it's fine.
She takes Sapna by the hand and slowly, carefully, she makes her way towards the house. Internal, Kapoor House, night. Nisha is guided inside by Sapna. Annie and Ammi are waiting inside. Nisha bows to Ammi, touching her feet.
Live long, child.
The four of them settle in. Sapna holds Nisha's hand. Nothing more is said. It's a peaceful scene, as if Nisha had never left. Later. After a while, Nisha joins Annie in the corner. The girl is doing some homework. Nisha is struggling to read the words. Annie speaks Hindi, while Nisha answers in English.
You can't read?
I can only read English. I've forgotten Devanagari.
You live abroad and you can't even read Hindi?
No.
This confuses Annie. She flips the pages of her school book back to the start and gives Nisha paper and pen.
There you go. A. Ah, right. A. Ah. E. Right.
Together, the two sisters manage to write out the alphabet. Nisha is laughing. Then their joy is interrupted. Has come home. He stands in the door. Nisha gets up. The women stand between her and her father. After a moment of hesitation, turns and walks out the door. Later, the women are asleep. Sapna, Nisha and Annie on mats on the floor. Ammi on a field bed in the corner. Nisha wakes up. She goes over to the fire, stirs the embers, puts another stick on. Annie joins her.
Annie?
What?
Why are you not sleeping?
I don't like sleeping.
This breaks Nisha's heart. She knows why. She holds the girl. Nisha whispers, "This is a secret only the two sisters share." Nisha speaks Hindi.
I hated sleeping too when I was here.
Were you afraid?
All the time.
Is that why you ran away?
Yes.
Can I run away too?
Yes.
Have you come to take me away?
I didn't know you were here. I will take you away.
Mother's heart will break.
Yes.
We can't break her heart. She's our mother. Mother's heart is like God.
I know, but you can't stay here.
I can. I'm brave.
Annie, you know what happens.
Did it happen to you?
Yes.
That way you could not get married?
No. No, Annie, no, please, no. Don't say that. Shh. A good man once said to me that I need to be safe for myself. Only for myself. You and I, we're going to run away. We need to run away, but not for the wrong reasons. We don't need to run to protect someone else's pride, someone else's honor, some stranger's feelings. You need to be safe, and you need to be happy, and you can get married one day if you want to, and nothing can stop you, and you can save yourself, and you don't need anyone else to save you.
I can't run away. What would Ammi say?
Nisha hugs the little girl, holds her until she falls asleep. Internal Kapoor house day. Nisha has settled in. It feels like she's always been there. She's helping Sapna make roti. Annie is playing nearby.
Ma, when will Babuji come home?
I don't know.
But it's Dussehra. Dussehra is great. We go up into our old village up in the mountains. I heard they built a huge Ravana this year. The boys always get to burn it, but I want to be the one to build fires in it this year.
If Annie wants to throw fire at Ravana this year, who am I to stop it? Let's go. I still have the car. I can drive us all up. Come on.
External India, mountain village, street, night. A huge effigy of Ravana has been set up by the temple lake. There is music, plays and festivities going on. In the crowd, Aman makes his way towards the temple. External India, mountain village, temple, night. The Dussehra festival is in full swing. The big effigy of Ravana looms in the distance. Nisha makes her way through the crowd with 2 ice creams. She stops dead in her tracks. Under the tree, like before, she finds a group of men, and among them, Om. She hands the ice cream to a passing child, sends him off. Then she musters her courage and goes over to the table. She sits in one of the empty chairs, an affront and a scandal in and of itself. The men around her gasp in amazement at her cheek. Om stares at her. She pulls out his old necklace, puts it on the table. She speaks English.
I'll play you for it.
The men were playing Carom, an Indian skill-based board game similar to billiards, where the players have to shoot little wooden discs into pockets on the corners of the board. She smiles and speaks at her father as she sinks one disc after another. The men around her gasp at her level of skill and precision.
So, Babuji, have you made plans for Annie to get married?
Om sits silently as she sinks yet another disc.
No. Why? Do the villagers know?
Now there is fear in his eyes. Nisha sinks the last disc, picks the necklace up from the table.
They don't know. You moved to the valley because I caused a fuss, no?
That's not right.
Yes, I know. Because they started asking questions.
They are surrounded by more and more men, among them powerful village elders and leaders.
What if we answer the questions? Should we answer the questions the Panchayat had?
She bows to the village elders.
Ask the questions you had after I ran away.
No one answers. In the crowd, Aman appears. Nisha notices him but does not react to his presence.
Surely you asked why a good girl from a wealthy family would run. Surely you asked why my father took to tilling the fields instead of running his shop up here where he was comfortable? Why is Annie's marriage not being arranged? Why was my marriage not arranged until I was 14? And why could I have never been married?
Aman tries to get to her, but he can't get through the growing crowd.
Shut up.
Ask me. Ask me. Ask Annie. Ask my mother. Ask us.
In the distance, Ravana has been set on fire. Fireworks fly into the sky.
You didn't ask why I was running. All the time when I was crying, you didn't ask. There was no need for you to ask. You knew. Everyone knows.
She points at her father. Behind him, Ravana is torn apart, burned.
Ravana.
She throws the necklace in the dirt and pushes through the crowd. Beyond the crowd, the 3 women of her family have gathered, all of them in tears. Nisha embraces Annie, Ammi and Sapna, and they silently make it to the car. Aman watches them leave. External, India, Mountain Village, street, night. The crowd is dispersed into groups, everyone discussing the evening's events. Apart from it all stands Om. He tries to see what is being decided by the village leaders, but is being kept away by a group of young men who eye him suspiciously. Aman comes over to him.
Do you know what you did?
I'm not saying anything.
She told me everything.
Om spits in the ground.
What kind of animal are you? And your other daughter, did you rape her too? How old is she?
Aman launches himself at Om. A fight breaks out between the men. The young men who were keeping Om in check separate them.
Go away from here. This village takes care of itself. Go away.
This village should take care of its daughters.
Go.
Internal, Kapoor House, day. The next day at the Kapoor House, Sapna and Ammi are packing a bag. Nisha and Annie come in from outside.
What is this? Why are you packing?
Can you take her?
What?
Can you take Annie? Take her with you to where you live. Can you take her?
With you and Ammi.
Ammi comes over to Nisha. She takes her hands.
My child, I have seen you suffer. I have seen my daughter-in-law suffer. We must bear. Women must bear. But you live in a different world now. Forgive me.
Nisha hugs her grandmother tight.
We've lived our lives. Please, can you take her?
Annie looks at Nisha, pleading. A voice from outside interrupts.
We can take her.
Nisha is furious. She storms outside. External, Kapoor House, garden, day. Aman is waiting in the garden. Nisha pushes him away.
Why did you come here? Why were you in the village yesterday?
I don't... Nisha, look. Well, let me explain. Let me help.
Explain what? Help! I don't want your help. I needed your help when I was alone. I was alone. You used me. You used me.
No, I did not. Nisha, no.
I was alone.
And so was I.
Aman, you used me.
No. I love you.
What kind of love is that? What kind of love is this? I trusted you. I trusted you so much. I trusted you. Were my life. You were my family. You were like a father to me. I have no need for this love. I have no need for this. I have no need for this. Go!
Nisha, please. I thought you... I thought... It was a mistake. But you have to understand, I was stupid, but I thought you loved me too, in the same way that I loved you.
I told you everything about me. I told you my darkest secrets, and then you said you wanted to leave. Maybe I need to find the answers for myself. Well, guess what? found everything for myself.
Nisha, please, don't throw this away. Can we not save our friendship?
When we slept together, I screamed. You didn't hear, but I screamed and I cried. Is that friendship? You slept with me.
But you didn't say.
What? What did you just say?
No.
What did you just say?
No, nothing.
Finish the sentence.
No, I don't.
I didn't say. What? I didn't say no. Well, guess what? I never said no to my father either.
She leaves him standing there. Internal Kapoor house day. Nisha, Annie, Sapna and Ammi are gathered around the house temple. They are praying, singing, offering blessings to the goddess Saraswati. Then Nisha and Annie take up their bags. Nisha bows down to touch Ammi's feet, then does the same for her mother. Annie follows her example. It's a sad moment, but a joyful one all the same.
I never said anything.
It's all good.
Sapna puts her hand on Nisha's head, the way Aman used to. External Kapoor house garden day. The old woman Sapna and Ammi watch the two sisters Nisha and Annie leave. The sisters run along the rice fields, colourful chunies flying in the wind. External India countryside day. Nisha and Annie are driving, the windows down, their chunnies flying, free. External India, Tharba village road day. Nisha holds Annie by her side as she knocks on the door of Chopra mansion. The door is opened by Priya. Silently and overwhelmed with both grief and happiness at the same time, Priya welcomes her girls into her arms. The end.
Oh, we should have proper applause. Oh, thank you all so much. Oh my God, what a wonderful thing. Thank you all so much.
Need a drink
Deep
after
breath.
that.
Yes, you do. Fair play to you,
Yeah.
Bill. This was heavy on the descriptions, especially the last part. Thank you so much.
Ah,
You're welcome.
Pleasure. You're welcome.
Yeah.
yeah, well done. Well
Loved
done.
it.
Terrific.
Yes.
Well done, Bill.
Yes, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Everyone is amazing. Fair
Thank
play
you.
to everyone.
And you guys.
So normally I'd get around in now. We can't do that now, unfortunately. I have an empty cup here. Everybody get themselves a lovely drink now, please. Like I said, it's
Will
going
do.
to be on you. Yes, very good. Very nice of it. It's going to be on YouTube. I'll send the link around once we have it. And thank you so much. I can't put into words how grateful I am to all of you. And we'll do it again sometime, and hopefully one day we'll do it in real life.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done, guys.
Thank you all. Thank
Well done,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.